I'm Dr. Timothy Gay. I want to welcome you to this report of findings that we've just talked about. It's absolutely wonderful. Let me give you 5 things that you're going to learn from it. 1, you're going to learn how to gain relationship building with your patient. 2, you're going to learn how to get a truthful response back from your patient. 3 is it's going to create a higher level of retention for your patients. Your patients are going to understand the reason that they're coming to see you. Number 4 is it's going to help you to create a higher family practice because you're going to be encouraging families to come into your practice. Number 5 is the compliance that you're going to get from the patient and the patient's understanding of what you're going to do to help them get the result that they need. Hey, I want to just take a second and apologize for the quality of the film. The content is absolutely wonderful. I want you to turn up your volume on your speaker so that you can hear it a little better. You're going to really enjoy it. It's going to bring about some good quality information that you're going to be able to use throughout your entire practice.
To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to jump into this game. Well, I'm gonna be in the door, gonna push through the wall that you put in front of me. Cause you know there'll be somebody, always be somebody between you and any dream. I know that's hard to say, but if you don't believe, yeah, that's fine with me. You know that's alright, yeah, that's alright. Cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah, that's alright. Cause you know that's alright with me. Well, go ahead and lock up your doors and put up your walls right in front of me. Cause you know that's alright, yeah, that's alright. You know that don't mean a thing to me.
So in the report of findings, let's pull a chair up here. You in the back, come on up here. It's great to see you today. Yes, you know, we did find a few things that are pretty serious responding. And when we look at the types of problems that you've got going on, it's really obvious that you've got some things that have been happening for a long period of time. And when we look at what's been happening, this is the spine right here. We talked about this yesterday. So we always have a spine that people can look at. We always have the posters. Did anybody ever see Usual Suspects?
Yeah.
Usual Suspects?
Sure. Yeah.
My report of findings is like Usual Suspects in the sense of you never know what the person's really going to want because the first thing you have to do is size them up. Are they a driver? Are they amiable? Are they emotional? Are they analytical? Right. So you kind of size them up before you get into it. And you also have to size yourself up because I know Grace is not much of a driver, probably very amiable. So you have to sort of mirror with them a little bit. So in looking at what we found, here's the spine. Remember when we talked about how the brain works at 100% and it comes out the frame and then here it goes down the spine and all the way down. Well, you know, we took these x-rays and we did an examination of them yesterday and there was a lot of loss of motion. Motion to go back into your neck. And you know, I really am not as concerned about the symptoms as I am the overall structure and really body functions. So what I'm looking for in here is I'm looking for vertebrae that misalign and are causing pressure on the nerves and cause sensations. These vertebrae are the ones that are causing all these different problems that are going on in your spine. We found about 7 of them that there's some kind of distortion. So in looking at these different areas, we're going to talk, much like they said, about normal first. This is a normal here on this poster. Here's a normal what your neck should look like. It's got a nice curve to it. It's got openings in all the different areas where the discs are. You can see that there's no forward translation of the skull as it sits there. And then as you look, you can see as it gets worse, there's a straightness here. And then as the straightness gets worse, you can see that there's some vertebrae down here that are starting to show signs of degeneration and decay. And I also use the 4 stages. And I say, this is the one you're in right now. I have them hold it. I say, this is you. So we're looking roughly at a stage 2 in your neck. And we haven't even shown you what your neck looks like. And we just pushed on the x-rays. And stand up, and I'll come over here and I'll go, this is what a normal is, this is what yours looks like. What's the difference? Can you see a difference here? And as we draw, and I didn't draw lines on any of my x-rays, when the dry erasable pens came out, it was the most genius thing in the world. I took a T-square, I put up, and I used 14 by 36 x-rays. I would put the x-ray up, I would drop down that T-square, and I'd draw from the odontoid all the way down the spine, flip it around and draw it up from the second sacral tubercle. In a lot of cases, they don't show, they don't touch. And I say, as we come down the spine, you can see that these spinuses are all out of alignment based on where your neck sits. As we come up the spine, you can see that your pelvis is off from where the center of the spine is, because this line should be meeting this line in a perfect world. But as we draw here and here, we notice that your pelvis, your legs are off a little bit, and we notice as we draw across the shoulders, same type of thing. So we know structurally you've got some serious problems that are going on, and we checked your posture when you first came in, we looked at your gait, and we found that your left shoulder was higher than your right shoulder, and you had head tilt and had some carriage problems, and that's what's causing a lot of your problems. Now, what happens, as we push down and you put your finger in any one of these areas where the neural canals are in the low back, you can see that these are all pretty big until you come down to 5. That's a subluxation. You can see that the disc is starting to wear out. I want you to take a look at that thing that's in your hand. That's it. That's pretty much where you are. Now, the other thing that I have is I have a ball that weighs about 7 pounds. And it's not a kettle ball, it's just kind of one of those rubber balls, but it's kind of a heavy ball. And I'll have patients hold it, and I'll have them hold it like this. And I'll say, take a look at your neck, because you've lost a lot of the curve in your neck, and you're continuing to hold this ball. And I say, now normally what you need to do is you need to bring this back, because this is the weight of your head sitting here, and this is the curve that you want to have in your neck. So these are some things that we're looking at. Now, here's the question. The question is, and I use the Road to Recovery poster. That Road to Recovery poster rocks. I say, these are the 3 phases that we're looking at. Right now, you're in a tremendous amount of pain, and you've got some structural changes, and the function of your body is not as good as it should be. As we looked at the chart of effects and showed you the different areas that you had all these symptoms that moved over to the other side, and showed you why the function was not doing as well as it should. So as we look at these 3 things, the red, the yellow, and the green, where do you want to go? You're in red right now. Where do you want to go? You want to go all the way to the top, right? Okay, if you want to go all the way to the top, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how long it takes. Are you willing to spend some time and make a commitment? Yeah. They start that day, and the reason that, and here's the thing, I have someone else do my financials that is a crackerjack. She is way better. I got to tell you, I had a problem about go ahead and have a seat. I had a problem about 2 months ago. I broke 2 of my teeth out on this side. How? I was eating a piece of bread. You'll believe it, and the bread became crunchy. Got weird. So I've got these friends in from town, and all of a sudden this bread is crunchy. I'm going, I think there's something wrong. So I called my old dentist. I just didn't like it all. She's just so mean to me all the time. So I got a new dentist, and she's really, really nice. But anyway, what happened was I called the old dentist. She says, I'm only here till 4:30. I'm not waiting. I said, it's a quarter to 4 right now, and I'm in downtown San Diego. I got to go to Encinitas. She says, I can't wait. I said, okay. So this thing wasn't hurting me yet. So I called another dentist, and I got it the next day. And this little 19-year-old gal, they got me all prepped and did everything. This little 19-year-old gal comes in, and she says, you got 3 options. This is what the insurance is going to cover, and these are the 3 options that you have. You can have a cap that will outlive you, that will be in your mouth forever. You can have another cap that's probably going to be 25, 30 years, and it still may outlive you. Or you can have the cheap cap, which no one ever gets. Which is so cool. So, and she says, and this is what it's going to cost, and da-da-da-da-da. And I just loved her. Because she was just straightforward with me. She didn't bullshit me. It wasn't a game. It wasn't like, what can you do? She just laid it out. And then she looked at me and she says, which one do you want to do? You got to get it fixed, right? You got to get your back fixed, right? So I got to tell you, this Road to Recovery poster is the key to it all, because you give them the 3 options. You got to have options.
Who's
Somebody's,
it
huh?
Who's it by?
That's Deb. It's awesome. It's the best thing you can
Yeah.
do. Right. And it's
So
great.
on their three options, do you talk about relief care, corrective care, maintenance care, or do you just?
I just talk about
That
what
doesn't
they're
even
getting.
exist.
He told me what he wanted.
He wants to fix it.
We go
Did you discuss
immediately
what it would
fix.
take to fix it?
All we talk about is fixing them.
I don't know, did you say frequency of care, et cetera?
3 times a week for 3 months, 2 times a week for 3 months, or 1
Okay.
time a week for 3 months. Done. Hey, thanks for watching this last video. I just want you to know that that's just a little piece of what's to come. We've got a 2-hour DVD that's going to be coming out that's just going to knock your socks off and blow your hair back. And hopefully it won't knock your socks completely off or blow your hair all the way back, but I'll tell you what, this 2 hours of DVD is exclusive to a seminar that we did that was 6 hours long. It was very private. It was something that people came away with so much information and so inspired and so excited to really, really move forward with their practices. I think it's something that's really going to help you. If you enjoyed this report of findings video, tell other people and let them know there's an opportunity for them to see these videos as well. In the meantime, look forward to seeing the next one that we're going to do, and from there we'll figure out exactly how we can help you continue to build your practice and build your life.
Well, hey, and I heard them say, well, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. Say, and I heard them say, well, nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. I know that's hard to say, but if you don't believe, yeah, that's fine with me. You know that's alright, yeah, that's alright.